do what I can do.
Okay, so hi Akshay Shah. Uh,
Hi,
first of
Sudhanshu.
first of all, I'd like to thank you on behalf of everyone who's going to listen to this episode,
My
and
pleasure.
it really means a lot for me. You are such a busy person, and even though you're so busy with your iWeb technology and entrepreneurship, you still took out time for students and everyone.
कोई नहीं, we
So
need to do that यार, वरना बच्चे सीखेंगे कैसा?
yeah, exactly right, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
तो मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन है जो एक्चुअली सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, दैट इज कि आई नो एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर पीपल हैव नोन नो यू अ लॉट आफ्टर शार्क टैंक हैपेंड, बट जिनको नहीं पता है उनके लिए हु इज अक्षय शाह एंड व्हाट इज iWeb टेक्नोलॉजी?
Sure. So, who is Akshay Shah? Akshay Shah is a struggling entrepreneur as I talk. And the good part was that I don't know who am I, but ek hai that from my school days I wanted to do something on my own. Even when I was in college, when I was studying, okay, I actually, my dad is a CA. I took up commerce because वो होता है legacy. So, and I was pathetic in mathematics, to be honest. So my sister is a gold medalist in medicine, and I was pathetic in maths. So she used to tell me that तू engineering लेगा तो पिटेगा, so better you don't take engineering. So although I like tech, but forced into commerce, and honestly didn't learn anything great in commerce. So there was nothing great to do. BCom के lectures 3 घंटे होते थे, सुबह 7 से 10, 10 के बाद लोग खाली घूमते थे. So I thought, why don't we start up? So I had some relatives who were doing a lot of things on their own in tech. So I think that's a blessing in disguise, where I got real hands-on at very early stage in my life, which kind of, you know, gave me a big hands-on and changed my thought process towards tech. The good part was, see, I'm 81 born. So, you know, roughly around 1995, 96 is where the internet boom started. And luckily I was in that age where I could grasp a lot of things and I got the opportunity. So I will say a lot of things, I can, you know, comment this on luck. So like it's written in the book Outliers, you know, when you do something for 10,000 hours continuously, you will automatically become smart or good at that. So I was at the right place at the right time. Internet was just booming. I was just out of school in college. I got a lot of hands on. और फिर ये वेब वाली जर्नी बहुत जल्दी शुरू हो गई लाइफ में. एंड देन लाइक आई सेड, व्हाइल आई वाज डूइंग कॉमर्स, आई honestly was bad at mathematics, equally bad at accounting. I feel my accounting is improved after I started up rather than before. And so the good thing was my dad and family supported me, that one fine day I went back and told them that I think I can't do accounts or CA, and if I become a CA, I'll become a bad CA. Although I tried that, and I flunked both the times. I flunked foundation, I flunked inter, I flunked every exam which I gave, honestly. But I kept on coding from my school days, so that gave me a lot of hands-on, and I used to like doing, honestly, like code karna pasand tha, and web was new. There was new tech at that time. ASP.NET also बहुत नया था, classical ASP था, PHP तो आया भी नहीं था. So this new age tech was very enticing, and that pulled me into that. And then it's a journey, मतलब one thing brings another. So इसमें कुछ ज़्यादा planned नहीं था. I started up from college and I kept on meeting people. I met my co-founder. He was my dad's friend. And just post college, we started iWeb. So iWeb is quite old in that sense. Like we formed way back in 2005. Although we have went through multiple iterations, and you can see we've changed our business lines also thrice. So we have pivoted in the true sense, which people feel pivot is bad, but I say pivot is best, because if you have the audacity to go and change your entire business and still run it, that proves you have deep conviction towards doing business. So we pivoted thrice, and from 2013 we are focused on automating universities, colleges and schools in India. That is our core motto as a product. Although we've done a lot of things before that in multiple verticals, but as we talk today, हमारा एक ही motto है कि देश में 1000 यूनिवर्सिटीज है, 60-70 हज़ार कॉलेजेस है, लाखों स्कूल्स है, बट अगर आप गिन चुन के उठा के देख लो तो 10% से भी कम स्कूल्स, कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटीज आज ट्रूली ऑटोमेटेड है. ठीक है, आज भी बच्चों को लाइन में खड़ा होना पड़ता है, डिमांड ड्राफ्ट निकालना पड़ता है, फी पेमेंट के लिए पेरेंट्स को लाइन में रुकना पड़ता है, मार्कशीट्स के लिए बच्चों को धक्के खाने पड़ते हैं यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के. आज भी आप अगर कोई कॉलेज से या यूनिवर्सिटी से पास आउट हो और आप जाके बोलोगे 2 साल बाद कि मुझे मेरा सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए, लीविंग चाहिए, ट्रांसक्रिप्ट चाहिए, तो आपको पता है कितना बड़ा प्रोसेस है, कितने बड़े फॉर्म्स भरने हैं, और मे बी एट टाइम्स यू हैव टू ग्रीस palms to get your documents. So we are talking about India is a superpower and we run the IT of the world. But if you look at our education system, especially the back-end digitization, it's pathetic. Even the best of IITs, IIMs today don't have an end-to-end system. जो भी ऑटोमेशन है पीस पार्ट में हुआ है, तो एग्जाम्स ऑनलाइन है, तो रिजल्ट्स ऑफलाइन है, एडमिशंस ऑनलाइन है, तो पार्शियली आपको अगर ट्रांसफर लेना है तो आपको अभी भी कॉलेज के धक्के खाने हैं। आपको एक कोर्स से दूसरे कोर्स में जाना है तो आपको फीस रिफंड नहीं होती है, आपको 2 बार पैसे भरने और वो रिफंड बाद में होती है। तो ऑल दीज आर बेसिक इश्यूज बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव सिस्टम्स. If we give proper systems to institutes and universities, I think we are going to do a world of good. So that's our core motto, to serve Indian universities, automate them end to end, and this will ease the life of every child, parent, and I think then the need to go out and study will be less. People usually go out due to two reasons. One, due to the fab factor, okay, I do an MS or I do a bachelor degree out of from abroad, then I have better chances to do well in life. But I think there is also a clause of frustration where people are frustrated being in India. They feel systems are not proper, teaching is not proper, it's not organized. So if we solve this problem, I feel a lot of students will study in India, and we are a superpower. There's no doubt about that. But we just need to channelize our energy, and that's our core motto.
That is something that is really true. जैसे अभी खुद मेरे साथ भी हुआ, I needed my first year का transcript because I was applying for some universities for doing my MS like you said, and वो बहुत ही लंबा फिर process हो गया, मेरे को mail भेजना पड़ गया फिर ये. तो basically iWeb is simplifying that whole process of getting your transcripts and everything.
Absolutely. So we keep on talking digital India, we keep on talking digitization, but what has happened is only fee and admission. देखो यूनिवर्सिटी चलाने का जो प्रोसेस है वो बहुत पेचीदा है. Okay, it's very complex, and that is where you need to go and digitize. Okay, because if you solve that problem, you are helping all stakeholders, including parents, teachers, administrators, government, and very few companies are focused on that because that's complex. But we feel that's a big space, it's a blue ocean, and we want to solve that problem. So that's our core motto.
Okay, so like you said, sir, कि आप अपने your dad was a CA, right? So I assume you are the first gen entrepreneur from your your family.
Absolutely.
So starting के समय
So
में
my I don't know first gen. My grandfather was also a businessman, but I didn't get any legacy, so he went up. But yeah, so it runs maybe in the genes. I don't know, but yeah, as far as I know, what my dad keeps on saying is he also was doing a lot of business, and he had a lot of exports, and he used to work with the British and the East India Company. So I don't know I'm first generation or not, but at least yeah, my dad is a professional, so that way yeah, maybe first generation. So I'm the guy who started iWeb, so yeah, no legacy.
So when you talk to your dad or your mom about like मुझसे CA नहीं होगा, I want to get into entrepreneurship और मेरा ये खुद का आइडिया है, तो एक होता है सर ऐसा कि जनरल इंडियन पेरेंट्स का कि नहीं यार एक अच्छा सा जॉब ले लो, अच्छा पेइंग पैकेज होगा तो वो ज़्यादा सेफ होता है, और entrepreneurship में there's a more probability you lose your money than you'll make some. So was it difficult for you to convince your parents to get into entrepreneurship, or were they always very supportive?
So I'll tell you, this was not a knee-jerk reaction or one fine morning I woke up and I said, I don't want to do this. It's a journey. They've seen me doing things in tech from, say, the age of 16. Okay. So they themselves understood that this guy's talent is tech. Anything non-tech, he'll screw up, honestly. And the way they saw me progress, and, luckily then I met the right guys, and I got a good breakthrough with a SAP partner. So I got insights into how SAP runs. From my college days itself, I was doing some work on R3, SAP R3, on WebLogic and so on and so forth, IBM. So they saw me doing things, and when I started doing things on my own when I was in college, they saw the growth. They saw I'm getting work, I'm able to solve things, I'm making people happy, and I am actually happy. And see, my dad somehow had an inclination or a sixth sense. He also wanted to do something in IT. He had also started up his own firm with a cousin of mine. So thoda unka bhi tha bent towards IT and tech. And when they saw me doing things, it was like, like you're trying to achieve what I wanted to do. And he was very open-minded. So this was not knee-jerk. They've seen what I was doing. My sister is a doctor. She's also seen me what I was doing. So it was a like they supported me. They said, okay, we know what you are good at and we've seen what you're doing. So you could risk this and we'll figure out. And I'll tell you, thoda family background also helps. So being from a, you can say a बनिया family और थोड़ा business class होता है ना, तो वो थोड़े risk taking ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, to be honest. और वो support भी दे देते कि ठीक है यार, कुछ पंगे होंगे तो बाद में देख लेंगे. So I think the social fabric in an entrepreneur's life plays a very big role. Okay, rather than he or she just deciding to start up, because if that noise keeps on continuing, it's very difficult for you to do justice to what you're trying to do. So in my life, I will like even as of today, everybody supports, right from my parents to wife to child, everybody is with me, and that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing. So there was no opposition because they saw me doing what I was doing. It was a journey, and I'll honestly tell you, they are a part of this journey even as I talk. So yeah, it was a process, and we all like we all went into it, and now there's no looking back because we like we are skin deep now in that. So yeah.
That's very unlikely in Indian society, right? Generally,
Yeah, it's changing, but it's changing. Like it's changing. Big time parents are now kind of supporting,
yeah,
even girls.
and it's actually very important if you like really want to excel in life in any matter,
Yeah,
like in entrepreneurship or in life in general. You really need support from your family. So, sir,
absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, I keep on telling, if your social fabric does not support you, don't jump into it because it'll rip you off. And entrepreneurship is a tough game. Okay,
very
doing
true.
any business, मतलब, it's not about just tech. आप एक चाय की दुकान भी डाल दो तो it's not easy. Like you have to manage the every damn thing, right from inventory to customers to चाय जल गई तो बना के देना है, and to ensure the customer comes back. It's not easy, right?
Mhm.
So if you start up, you need that backup. Okay, if your social fabric is not inclined towards it, I will always say hold back. There's no age or there's no time limit to start up. We've seen like test case, like case studies. KFC guy started post retirement, right? So there's no logic. There's no, ऐसा नहीं है कि यार मतलब अब अभी स्टार्टअप करना है और कॉलेज छोड़ के लोग भाग भाग के जो स्टार्टअप कर रहे हैं. आई एम नॉट फॉर दैट कल्चर because honestly, this is not something like you do for fame or stardom, which is actually happening like in most of the metropolitan cities. Kids go to Twitter and say, now I have left college and I have started starting up now. That's the worst thing to do because college gives you a lot of information, contacts and education. Okay, you can't replicate or replace. Okay, for people like us, what happened is we were in the wrong journey, right? So we changed bus because wo jo bus thi wohi galat thi. But if you are doing tech and in the third or fourth year you leave and start up and you say what I'm taught is old, that's bullshit. Because in tech, if your base is correct, you can pick up any language, any tech. Okay, so वो जो just फेम और फन के लिए लोग छोड़ के स्टार्टअप कर रहे हैं और वीसीज भी इसको बैक करते हैं और जाके उनको पैसे दे रहे हैं और वो 18 19 20 साल के बच्चे जो स्टार्टअप कर रहे हैं, ठीक है थोड़े चल भी रहे, बट I am not for that culture. Like, this is not a one night job. Okay, this is a decision of your lifetime, and honestly, you will regret. If God forbids you don't do well, and you need to go back to job, you have no degree. You will be in a mess, and you will be competing with 100,000 of kids who have gone through that journey which you missed or which you skipped. Plus, you have a taboo that you are an unsuccessful entrepreneur, which is tough. Then you will end up in depression. It's a double whammy. So I will never suggest of leaving what you are doing and starting up or having that pressure that यार 20 साल में startup करना है और 20 startups करनी है. I get like funny queries like मैंने 15 startup करे fail हुआ, शेयर चैट का 18वें startup पे success हुआ था तो मेरे क्या chances है? भाई मैं भगवान थोड़ी हूँ, 15 साल से मैं struggle कर रहा हूँ. So it's funny. People are seeing it's like Bollywood, people are seeing only the glam of it, but they are not seeing the struggle behind that. They are not seeing the pain behind that. For every successful SRK, we have a failed
Vivek
Sushant Singh
Oberoi.
Rajput also,
Yeah.
who lost his life, right? Behind this fame, although being a brilliant actor. तो ये उसके flip side है, तो दोनों side देखनी जरूरी है. And the biggest thing is like people ask me when should I start up. I have only one answer to this. Only when you are solving a problem or you get sleepless nights of solving something or of making something or of improving something, start up. don't just start up to raise money जो हो रहा है आज, that मैंने पीपीटी बनाई, मैं फंडिंग देख रहा हूँ, मुझे फंडिंग मिलेगा तो मैं धंधा शुरू करूंगा, नहीं मिलेगा तो मैं नहीं करूंगा, which is not the right way to do. वो नहीं चलेगा. Okay, here you have to have your skin in the game. Very few very lucky people raise monies that way because the VCs want to do that. You don't understand. As a VC, they need to put money in all their baskets, right? So people keep on asking why Zepto raised so much money. See, they did because they were solving a problem of quick delivery, which was not happening. The VCs wanted to enter that space. They were two young kids who were thinking on those lines. So the VCs will feel ना ठीक है, ये बंदा यही सोच रहा है जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ, तो I got a guy to execute this. I'll put in the money, right? This is how it is. But if you are trying to solve a problem or if you're trying to make up something which is not solving any problem, no VC is going to fund you, right? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि Zepto को मिला तो मुझे भी मिल जाएगा, अब 10 मिनट में किया तो मैं 5 मिनट में दे दूंगा तो मुझे पैसे मिल जाएंगे, ऐसे नहीं होता है फंडिंग. तो बहुत सारे मिसनॉर्म्स है और एक्चुअली किड्स आर लाइक लॉस्ट. वो यूट्यूब पे और ये सब योर स्टोरी पे पढ़ के एक्साइट तो हो जाते हैं, बट यू नीड टू गाइड देम इन अ क्यूरेटेड वे. ऐसे ऐसे बिजनेस नहीं बनते यार. ऐसे होता तो सब जेप्टो बना देते. ठीक है, 100 200 300 500 यूनिकॉर्न बन जाएंगे देश में, बट उसके सामने 50 लाख एमएसएमईज भी है. ठीक है, तो वो भी देखना है आपको कि कितने यूनिकॉर्न. इट्स लाइक 0.10. ओके, टुडे इफ यू टेक द रेशियो, इंडिया हैज like more than 8 lakh MSMEs. Out of that 100 unicorn. Come on, आप अगर इसका रेशियो निकालोगे तो मिनिस्क्यूल है पॉइंट्स में, राइट? तो कोई मतलब वो सब देख के अगर आप स्टार्टअप कर लो तो एक बहुत बहुत गलत. it's like trying to it's like seeing IPL and thinking I'll go and play for one team. You need to burn the midnight oil. It's not easy. So yeah, that's how it is.
You just answered my next question. मेरा यही क्वेश्चन था कि कंपनीज आजकल काफी ज्यादा सर ओवर वैल्यूड हो गई हैं. Like people are creating any sort of companies. They are raising funds just to get that unicorn का tag. तो सर like you said you were born in 81 and 95 में इंटरनेट का revolution आया. तो you've personally seen that 2008 का .com bubble खुद से. तो can you relate this whole entrepreneurship जो अभी आपने बोला कि glamorize कर दिया गया है, तो अभी ना एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का बबल और इसका क्या फ्यूचर है इंडिया में? मतलब
see, we are not in a bubble, to be honest. देखो, I have seen 2 crashes. I have seen even the .com crash of 2000, although I was very young, but I had started up that time. Okay, and luckily my co-founder had raised money that time and he went bust. So I've learned a lot from my co-founder's journey, which was the bust one, the .com crash. I was a young kid, 20-year-old, and we got a lot of work where they said वो Y2K का bug है, आप इसको command prompt में जाके solve कर दो. And I used to see how people minted money by fooling people by just changing their dates and by saying okay, we've solved the Y2K bug. I saw Indian IT picking up in the big stage, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all these guys becoming big during Y2K. And honestly, most were bluffing. There was no Y2K bug in computers. Okay, very few systems were built to run till 1999 as a date, which had a bug, which were the core banking and the Swift systems and all. But PCs or Windows PCs had no bug. तो लोग बहुत पैसे बनाए. So I've seen that crash, okay, where people by fooling made money, and then there was a whole .com crash which came in, where everything was eyeballs. There was there was nothing more than that than eyeballs. All valuations were on eyeballs. 2008 was different. 2008 crashed due to a liquidity crunch, right? And honestly, at that time, we also crashed. So we downsized big time. Post starting up, we had got decent investment in terms of not directly equity, but it was like a JV where some large groups from India and abroad had tied up with us, and we had some big ideas to digitize some large states. And 2008, due to the crash, the financial crash, few of the companies even left India, and we also had to downsize. So at one stage, I remember I had say 120 people on our roll, and we had to downsize to say 20 people from 120. So we've also done that. And I've seen the other side also, where initially where people downsized, we hired a lot of people. So people from Emphasis, Wipro used to come and join us and be so happy working, but that eventually we faced the same shit, right? So these 2 crashes were different. There was a fundamental problem there. Okay, currently I don't see this as a bubble for everybody. Yes, it's a bubble for a few, where there will be a course correction, like we are seeing Bitcoin is crashing, crypto is crashing, but they won't die. Okay, crypto won't end. Okay, or all these valuations won't end, or business won't end. There will be corrections. Okay, people will come down to reality. They will hit the ground. But the good part is, after two big crashes, the industry has matured. Okay, so VCs have also matured. So they will do down rounds. They will go and give bridge rounds to their existing ventures. But I don't see people shutting shop and like we saw in 2008. That won't happen. And you can see people are laying off. Why are they laying off? Because they know they have no revenues. They know they need to extend their runway before they can raise the next round, because the rounds will be delayed, the valuations will be down rounds. So they are actually cutting their extra expenses. Although I am not too supportive of layoffs. I've never laid off in my life. I've seen crashes. In 2008, when we laid off, we ensured that all of them got jobs and we hired them back. Okay, even during COVID, which badly hit my industry because we digitized universities, colleges. We didn't have a big team. We had, say, 25 odd people. Where people were laying off, we didn't do that. I didn't even cut salaries, although my salaries were deferred. But I still paid everybody all the monies, because this is not to boast, but this is to tell you that, or maybe tell our audience who are listening, is layoff is not the way to cut costs or increase your runway. Rather than that, uh, across the board, you could cut salaries. Okay, you could cut on your additional expenses. You could stop, like for all these unicorns, you could stop advertising. You could stop your Google ads. होगा क्या? ऐसा जब रेवेन्यू नहीं बनाते हो, प्रॉफिट्स नहीं बनाते हो, ठीक है, आप जिंदा हो फंडिंग पे, ठीक है, तो आप रनवे बढ़ा रहे हो क्योंकि आपको फंडिंग ज्यादा ठिकाना है, तो यू कट कॉर्नर्स, ठीक है, आप कोवर्किंग में चले जाओ, आप वर्क फ्रॉम होम कर लो, आप सैलरीज 25% अक्रॉस द बोर्ड कम कर दो, बट लोगों को निकालना इज नो सोल्यूशन, बिकॉज होगा वो कि जब कोर्स करेक्शन होगा, okay, and when the time is right, you won't have the people to excel, you won't have the people to accelerate and hit the market running, right? So I'm totally against that, and I don't think there is a course correction, but I don't think this bubble will crash the industry. No, we are very resilient now. The VC industry is also very matured. The entrepreneurs are also quite matured, because although there are kids starting up, there are mature people who have run businesses for 20, 30, 40 years, who've also raised monies, who some have bootstrapped, some have raised monies. So the industry is quite mature. So ऐसे तो नहीं होगा कि लोगों के धंधे बंद हो जाए, और there will be massive unemployment, or like we saw in the dot-com crash, or we saw in 2008. No, that won't happen. But yes, this was a correction which was required, because there was mad rush of money. People were raising monies on PPTs, and VCs were giving money like there's no tomorrow. So that had to course correct today or tomorrow. So I'm very happy that has happened, honestly. And I think like we'll come back. It's a matter of, say, 8 months, 12 months, or maybe at the max 18 months. But things will be back on track, and this time it will be like big growth. It will be like we'll zoom, and this will be across the world. I don't see a depression, or I don't see like business is going up and all. I don't see happening. At least not in India, or not in the countries which are fundamentally strong like us. I don't see that.
So, sir, आप खुद commerce background से थे, but then you switched to tech background, you started coding and everything. तो India में there's this Indus Valley report कि even though India में coders बहुत कम है, but the quality of coders are very good. India is producing a very good number of coders. But then, sir, what do you personally feel की reason है जिसकी वजह से जो हमारे Indian coders हैं, they prefer to work overseas than rather अपने खुद के देश में काम करने के लिए?
See, that is also changing. Okay, post COVID, if you see, many people have even migrated to their hometowns, and they are now working from there. Okay, so देखो, they want to go and work abroad due to two reasons. One, एक जो इकोसिस्टम वहाँ है वो अभी भी अपने देश में मिसिंग है. Although बैंगलोर में हो रहा है, हैदराबाद में हो रहा है, गुड़गांव में हो रहा है, right? Pune is coming up. It's happening, but still, the pace and the kind of work which we get to work on site when we go to a US, or when we go to Australia, when we go to Europe, and the first-hand experience what we get is still missing in India. India is more a back office for the world, right? So, like what TCS does, they pick up a large project, they send 10% of the team on site, and that is a team who does requirement mapping, requirement gathering, UAT testing, release. They interact with the customer, and the back end, the coding is happening, right? So, if you look at the life cycle of a developer, he starts as a junior developer, then becomes a senior developer, then becomes a manager, maybe a team lead, a project manager, project director, or maybe then that's it, like, or he goes up at the management level. So if you look at this journey, at the initial stage, if you go and work on site, or if you work with teams, if you go and work where the technology is being done or innovated, it always helps because it will give you an impetus or the first-hand experience, which staying in India working at the back office won't do. So to be honest, that fad is not bad. Plus, you get paid more. You get a per dime. You get a per day allowance, which all is missing in India, right? So that's a craze which has always been there, and I am not totally against that craze because honestly, that helps. So one of our co-founder also works in the US for experience, and I think that has helped always. So like you go and work in the Silicon Valley and you stay in India, it's like comparing apple to orange, like chalk to cheese. So that's not wrong, but going there and working only for the heck of it and only for the money and only for the lifestyle, I'm not too keen on that because what will happen is today or tomorrow you're going to migrate back. Okay, these countries, every country has a protectionist policy. Every country will think about their people first. So today or tomorrow you are going to become a liability, and that is going to hit you hard then when you have to turn back, right? So uh, it's an individual choice. And I have a comment also on coders. I don't believe, honestly, India has good coders. I am not of that opinion. Or we have good developers. And I will not blame only the students for this. I will blame our entire ecosystem. So right from the institutes to the government to even the parents, to society and the student, all of us are party to this because whoever we interview as a fresher, be it an IIT, IIM, or even a normal engineering kid, everybody has an aspirational value only of working in an MNC or making money, right? Uh, when I interview a tech guy, say a fresher, and I ask him, okay, how many lines of code you've written? Nobody has an answer. Okay, how many apps you built? Nobody has an answer. Everybody does copy paste. Okay, they bring old projects or make others do projects and do PPT projects in engineering colleges. Last year MCA के projects में देखता था बीच में, और वो पीपीटी में फाइनल ईयर प्रोजेक्ट सबमिट करते थे, जो मुझे शर्म आती थी कि यार अगर आप एक डेवलपर हो और आप पीपीटी पे प्रोजेक्ट दे रहे हो तो मतलब आप एक आर्किटेक्ट हो और आप बिल्डिंग नहीं बना रहे हो, आप ऑटोकैड चला रहे हो, ऐसे नहीं होता है. सो द एंटायर इकोसिस्टम इज शिट टू बी ऑनेस्ट. एंड बच्चे का भी, so kids are also to be blamed because see, the world is open to you, right? You're seeing people doing things on YouTube. You're seeing kids making their own apps, developing. You see the Zepto kids, okay, they came out and built a startup, right? They started coding. तो अगर ये सब कर सकते तो हमारे बच्चे भी कर सकते, राइट? आप टीचर को जाके 10 सवाल पूछो कि सर ये कोड नहीं चल रहा है, तो टीचर को झक मार के कोडिंग में घुस के सिखाना पड़ेगा आपको, राइट? सो इट कैन ऑल्सो स्टार्ट द रिवर्स वे. If our kids start pushing the teachers will automatically become intelligent because they'll tell the principal, I can't go and face these kids. Yeah, they are asking questions, I don't know things. I need to reskill myself. And it will become a reverse way. The principal becomes smart, vice chancellor, government, all will become smart. So किसी को इनिशिएटिव लेना होगा. हम नहीं बोल सकते गवर्नमेंट को ये करना है, कॉलेज को ये करना है, यूनिवर्सिटी को करना होता लास्ट 80 साल में कर दिया होता, नहीं करा है, राइट? So as kids, as entrepreneurs, as business people, as parents, we have to take that initiative, right? As parents, we feel happy when our kids comes and scores and says मैंने 95%, 99% IIT क्लिक किया, जीमैट में इतने मिले, टोफल में इतने मिले, नीट में इतने मिले. एक एप्लीकेशन उसको लिखने को बोलो, एक लेटर उसको लिखने को बोलो, नहीं कर सकता है. तो एज पेरेंट्स वी आर ऑल्सो टू बी ब्लेम्ड कि वो नीट पे मार्क्स लेके आया, उससे खुश होने के बजाय हमको बोलना चाहिए कि भाई तू एक इंजीनियर है, तो मेरे को ये बल्ब तो फिट करके दिखा, राइट? सो देयर वी हैव टू लुक इनसाइड, right? We need to, like Gandhiji said, be the change you want to see, right? So as a society, we need to change first and then the world will change. Otherwise, like an eye for an eye will make the world blind, which is happening from so many years and which will continue. अरे बहुत मस्त किया है, वो भी एक you should ask that, and that has to change.
ये राइट सर. तो सर जैसे अभी हम लोगों ने कोडर्स के बारे में पूछा, तो शार्क टैंक का जो मेरे ख्याल से जो मोस्ट अवेटेड क्वेश्चन जो लोग भी चाह रहे होंगे, जैसे मैंने अपने कुछ दोस्तों को बताया कि मैं अक्षय सर का इंटरव्यू लेने वाला हूँ, तो उनका भी यही था कि शार्क टैंक से रिलेटेड पूछना. तो शार्क टैंक में जाने के बाद सर, लाइक व्हाट चेंजेस केम इन योर पर्सनल लाइफ, बिकॉज even though your show was not telecasted on the channel, you ended up becoming not if the most popular contestant of Shark Tank, but at least one of the most popular contestants. तो वो whole Shark Tank का experience कैसा था और वो क्या आपके लाइफ में चेंजेस आया, आप क्या सीखे अगर कुछ वैसा तो?
So I'll tell you, मतलब ऐसा कोई बड़ा change नहीं है because honestly we were seasoned entrepreneurs. Like I said, my journey started way back 2005 में. So the judges who were sitting in front of us had started up later than what we had started up, right? So although yes, they are more successful if you look at from the angle of valuation of the monies they raised or the experience they had in that industry, but we had started up way back. So हमने journey ज़्यादा experience करी थी उनसे. So we were more grounded in that way. But you know, in terms of visibility, of course, the tweet became viral, and so people started knowing us. So you know, like any tweet or like any opinion, there are two sides of the coin. Like some people will love you for that, and some people will hate you for that, right? So we've seen both sides. Like there are even hate mails, hate messages, hate calls, and there are love messages, love calls. So it was kind of balanced, but the journey was good. So many people say that you complained about Shark Tank and you complained about uh, the the judges and the way they reacted with you or the way they dealt with you and other fellow entrepreneurs. Then why do you say in your DP you show Shark Tank and even in your bio you say a proud Shark Tank finalist season one. So you are alumni and all. So through your show, I also want to clear that air that of course I am a proud Shark Tanker, okay, or tanker they call that in slang. I was part of season one, and I was a part of the initial screening, so I am very happy to be a part of that. And big thanks to Sony for that. Very few people know, but their curation engine was phenomenal. Okay, out of say 40-50,000 entries to pick up 200 good ones, which eventually did well, be it on television or be it off television, is not easy. So their curation engine was phenomenal. The way they conducted the nominations and the selection was also very professional. At least I had not got any major hiccups there. Their form filling was too good. So the journey was not bad. Okay, I have no qualms as far as the journey goes, selection goes, positioning goes. The challenge was, see, in India for TRP, the channels do play this, right? So एक थॉट प्रोसेस वो है कि यार हम शार्क टैंक अप्लाई करा क्योंकि हमने यूएस का शार्क टैंक देखा था, हमने ड्रैगन den देखा था. सो आई एम अ बिग फैन ऑफ दैट बिकॉज वो डिकेड से चल रहा है. तो ये सब ओटीटी आने के पहले से ये सब मतलब मेरे जैसे बुड्ढे लोग को पता है कि ये बहुत पहले से चल रहा है एंड दैट इंस्पायर्ड अस, राइट. तो जब हमने सुना भी शार्क टैंक के बारे में तो अप्लाई करके वो सोचा था कि यार दिस विल बी लाइक द यूएस. Now, although the platform or pattern is similar, but यहाँ पे थोड़ा इंडियन आइडल बन जाता है या बिग बॉस बन जाता है. अब वो भी गलत नहीं है. आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट दैट because you are going to run this on prime time where even a small kid or a housewife or a senior citizen going to see the show. You need to pull some cords. You can't have it a proper business show. It won't work. I buy that. But my only bone of contention or what saddened me was if this was going to be played this way, we as contestants should have been told कि इसको आप भी बिग बॉस के तरीके से खेलो तो हम भी खेलते. तो अश्नीर आपको गाली देगा तो आप भी सामने गाली दे सकते. ओके, ये नहीं पता था. तो लॉट ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स गॉट बॉक्ड डाउन, व्हिच इज माय प्रॉब्लम, राइट. सो चलो मैं तो बाहर आके सामने आके मैंने बताया बिकॉज आई डोंट केयर अ शिट अबाउट दैट. बट लॉट ऑफ पीपल स्टोरी हैव नॉट कम आउट because they got bogged down. So I know so many fellow pitchers who left halfway. I know of 19-year-old guy who had a brilliant innovation, which I thought at least, whose pitch was also not completed and he was thrown out halfway. And he had spent say 20-30,000 rupees because the channel had told him, यार तेरा costume सही नहीं है, ये दिखता नहीं है सही, तू जूते नए ले. So I don't want to name things because he has not come out. Then why do I spoil the journey for him? But I know he had gone to Lokhandwala with the channel guys and spent 20-30,000. His parents had flown from Lucknow or somewhere. I broadly recollect. Okay, and they had spent all of that money. And उसका शो टेलीकास्ट तो छोड़ो, उसका तो मतलब रिकॉर्डिंग भी नहीं हुआ because maybe they didn't like. I don't know the inside story because we were not privy to that. But we saw them getting upset. I had another CA friend of mine who had pitched from Delhi. who actually got telecast, but I again don't want to name them because they've not come out. Whose show was curtailed and whose pitch was curtailed, and he even didn't do a post-show recording with the guys, with the team, okay, because he was really upset and they were insulted. So देखो भाई, अगर आप फ्रीडम जजेस को देते हो, शार्क्स को देते हो कि आप बजाओ, तो आप कंटेस्टेंट्स को भी बोलो बजाओ. हम बजने नहीं जा रहे वहां, राइट? बिकॉज इट्स मैन टू मैन. Okay, if Ashneer is a so-called successful entrepreneur in his own terms, हमने भी बहुत पापड़ बेले, right? So in my own terms, I am equally successful, or I am even more successful because I have revenue, I have profits, I don't burn money. So I am a very proud entrepreneur, right? And on that stage, I could have ripped him apart or I could have burnt him raw there. Okay, वो जो डेटा पॉइंट्स मुझे पूछ रहा है, मैं सेम उसको पूछ सकता था. वो मुझे पूछ रहा है तेरा 7 करोड़ रेवेन्यू क्यों नहीं, तो मैं बोलता भाई तू 250 करोड़ spend करके भी तूने 7 करोड़ नहीं बनाया, right? I could have done that, but the channel didn't allow us, or we were not tuned for that, and neither we wanted to spoil it, right? Because हमको वो लगता है कि एक शार्क के साथ spoil करो, सब शार्क के साथ बिगड़ जाएगा, and then net you won't get a deal, right? Which eventually happened with us. So point is, keep it man to man, and I have written on this. ऐसा नहीं है कि मुझे सिर्फ हीरो बनना था ट्वीट करके. I have written this to the channel, to Bimal. Okay, I even still wrote to him again on LinkedIn when he wrote about this channel, like season 2. I said, call the season 1 alumni, call us as alumni, put us with the team who's going to pitch. We'll be able to give them better gyan than your creative guys, because we've been in the journey, right? We are like seniors to them. हम उनको better guide कर सकेंगे ताकि वो better pitch करे, right? So he wrote to me candidly. He said, "यार ये season में तो नहीं होगा, but maybe for next season we'll try." So it's not I'm blaming the channel or the sharks. I am very open. I have written candidly to the channel that you give us equal free hand. Don't let an entrepreneur go dejected out of the show, because ऐसा भी होगा ना, लोग धंधा बंद कर देंगे. जैसा अशनी साहब ने बोला है बहुतों को कि तू भाई नौकरी पे चला जा, तू धंधा बंद कर दे. तो मोटिवेशन तो छोड़ो, आप मार देते हो लोगों को. So you will have a Sushant Singh moment there, which I don't want, right? As entrepreneurs, I want every single guy starting up to succeed. देखो, हमारा DNA भाई, हम भी बड़े हो तो वो भी बड़े हो, right? Ashneer and others का story है कि we are showing them the reality. I buy that. So if your kid fails, you don't throw the kid out of the window, right? What Ashneer is doing is like throwing the kid out of the window. वो नहीं करेगा. वो समझाएगा.
And so the irony is he himself got kicked out of his own company. So
absolutely. So see, I am not for that, or I am not happy that happened. That's bad for any entrepreneur. And yeah, I have high regards. All said and done, यार, he is in a tough space. उसका approach, attitude, arrogance हटा दो. तो what he has done is commendable, boss. वो जो space में है, वहां पे पैसे रेस करना मुश्किल है. मैं मेरे स्पेस में पैसे नहीं रेस कर सक रहा हूँ, राइट? जहां पे मैं प्रॉफिटेबल हूँ, वो तो यार स्टोरी चिपका के पैसे रेस करके आया. तो इट्स नॉट इजी, बट दैट्स हिज एटीट्यूड, राइट? ही हैज दैट इन हिम. वो हम जो दिल्ली बॉयज बोलते हैं, तो हम इंटरनली स्लैंग करते थे कि यार ये शार्क टैंक कम और दिल्ली बॉयज क्लब ज्यादा है, बिकॉज अशनीर इज दैट टिपिकल दिल्लीite. सो इट्स नॉट आई एम अगेंस्ट दिल्ली गाइज, बट वो जो कल्चर रब ऑफ हम जो बोलते हैं ना कि यार Aman is that very cool Delhi guy. Piyush is actually not from Delhi, but now in Delhi, so again a Delhi guy. And the girls were good, the ladies were good. Actually, I even tweeted on that for us, when we were pitching and Ashneer was in his upswing of abuse, the only shark who supported us or batted for us was the lady
Namita Thappar.
Namita, sorry. So Namita was the only shark who batted for us, and although she typically said I am out, but she still said 15 साल की journey है, तो you can't insult them, boss. They have the guts to come here and do 3 pivots and stand in front of us and pitch. That itself is gutsy, and she had a soft corner for my co-founder also, because he is a CA, she is a CA. तो भी थोड़ा होता है. So देखो, कुछ सही गलत नहीं होता इसमें. I still believe, when I also mentor kids or somebody comes and pitches to me, यार, you never know. आज का zero ना कल hero बन जाएगा. You never know. It's like a roller coaster and it's a stupid journey. ठीक है, किसका कब दिन खुलेगा ना, you don't know. And there is no business model you can say ये बकवास है और बंद कर दो, because honestly मैं आज अश्नीर का भारत पे का बिजनेस मॉडल देखूं तो मैं भी बोलूंगा आज ही बकवास है बंद कर दो, राइट? बट चल रहा है, धंधा आ रहा है, पैसे आ रहे हैं, वैल्यूएशन मिल रहा है, तो चल रहा है, राइट? तो कुछ भी बकवास नहीं इसमें, नाइदर द सिपलाइन प्रोडक्ट इज बैड और नाइदर द दैट अर्बन मंकी वाज बैड वेयर दे टोल्ड हिम जस्ट फोकस ऑन वन लाइन ऑफ बिजनेस. मुझे भी बोला था ये द शादी.com guy Anupam told me that what you are doing is good, but if you are doing B2B also and getting revenue of B2B2C also, you are reading a lot of newspapers. Stop doing that and focus on one line of business. And indirectly said, I'm willing to invest if you do only one of that. And then he started giving us some gyan also. Why don't you start lending and so on and so forth? So I don't want to get into that. I am not using this show to badmouth them or punch them again. No, they were right maybe from their side. My only humble request to everybody, maybe for season 2 also, if any of the sharks listen to this or the channel listens to this, keep it open for all, okay? And give an equal footing to the entrepreneurs, right? So if they abuse us, we should have an equal footing and we should be trained to even give it back, which the channel never tells you, right? हम जो वहां के पोपट के माफिक जाके जो पिच बोलते हैं शुद्ध हिंदी में, क्योंकि इंग्लिश में बोलते तो बजाते रहते हैं, एटलीस्ट इनिशियल में तो बहुत बजाया है, बाद में दे स्टार्टेड अलाउइंग. So the guy coming from Kerala doesn't know Hindi, so he can speak in English, right? The judge Ashneer also invested in that banana chips guy. He told, yeah, you are not comfortable in Hindi, you speak English. So bloody we are comfortable in Hindi, so we can't speak in English, right? क्योंकि हम तो 2 वर्ड्स भी इंग्लिश के बोलते थे तो सब चढ़ जाते थे, प्रोडक्शन चढ़ जाता था, शार्क चढ़ जाते थे, हिंदी में बोलो, हिंदी में बोलो. अभी एबिटा को मैं हिंदी में कैसे बोलूं भाई? मेरे को नहीं पता एबिटा को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं, प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी को क्या बोलूं, मुनाफा, मतलब ऐसे थोड़ी क्लिक होगा. पिच के बीच में, Q&A के बीच में सब चढ़ जाते हैं आप पे, हिंदी में बोलो, हिंदी में बोलो. केरला वाले को क्यों हिंदी में नहीं बोलने बोला, राइट? सो ये एक डिस्पैरिटी था जो मुझे और बहुतों को नहीं पसंद आया, बिकॉज वो आपका फ्लो हट जाता है. हम सी वी आर यूज्ड टू पिच इन इंग्लिश, लेट्स एक्सेप्ट इट. इट्स नॉट हमको हिंदी नहीं आती, हमको हिंदी बहुत अच्छी आती है, बट दिक्कत वो है कि आप जब पिच करते हो तो आपको ट्रेन, हमने तो यार हजारों पिचेस की है, फिर हमको फंडिंग मिला है, राइट? सो पोस्ट टैंक व्हेन वी रेज मनी और प्री टैंक हैड गॉट अ टर्म शीट, सो that's a different story, but we are used to pitch in English. So had they permitted English, life बहुत easy हो जाती बहुतों की. बहुत लोग बैंगलोर, तमिलनाडु से शॉर्टलिस्ट नहीं हुए because उनकी पिच हिंदी में नहीं थी, right? तो ज्यूरी मतलब at the audition level itself they were thrown out, which is wrong, right? Because in the pitch in the end you are allowing so many guys to speak in English. तो यार आगे पहले वालों को क्यों इतना बजा डाला, हिंदी में बोलो, हिंदी में बोलो. हमको पूरी पिच के जो रट्टे मराए हैं 4 दिन रह के वहां पे, वो शुद्ध हिंदी में मरवाए हैं. भयंकर जैसे वर्ड्स मुझे चैनल ने बोले थे, आप बोलो ये भयंकर प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे साला भयंकर याद ही नहीं रहता था, तो मैं भयानक कर देता था उसको, तो मुझे रीटेक्स आते थे और मैं पागल हो जाता था. तो आई यूज्ड टू फॉरगेट माय ऑनेस्टली माय पिच. तो होता वो है कि हमारी पिच को चैनल एक क्रिएटिव एंगल से उसको एक स्विच देती है, जो सही है, बिकॉज उनको पता है ऑडियंस को क्या क्लिक होगा, अंडरस्टूड. बट वो जो हिंदी वाला चक्कर है वो हमको नेचुरली नहीं आता है. हम बॉलीवुड एक्टर्स नहीं है कि हम हिंदी पिच करके फटाफट बोल देंगे. हम अमिताभ नहीं है भाई, हम दिल से बोलते हैं, राइट? एज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आवर पिच इज फ्रॉम आवर हार्ट, फ्रॉम आवर गट. तो वो बहुत दिक्कत होती है. although few guys did really well, but so net if you tell me the journey was very interesting, it was season 1, maybe everybody will have learnings, but I still want the sharks to tone down. I don't want them to hit below the belt. You can't go and comment on a business which is running or on somebody who wants to run. Maybe like that sugar cosmetics lady, you could say, I am out, I feel this won't work, but all the best to you. That's the best thing to do. But just don't go and pull them down, because honestly, you never know what works. There is no magic recipe for success in business, right? तो बहुत लोग आजकल ट्वीट कर रहे हैं कि यार पान वाले, चाय वाले ज्यादा पैसे बनाते हैं यूनिकॉर्न से, जो सच है. तो मतलब आपको क्या किक देता है? आपको चाय बेच के पैसे बनाने हैं तो you can do that, or you want to go and solve a real problem and monetize, right? So it's a very individual prerogative to start up or do something what you are doing in the space. There's no right or wrong here, or there's no good or bad here. So I want them to mellow down, keep it a lively environment. You can say this won't work or I don't like. Don't hit below the belt, or allow the entrepreneurs also to hit below the belt. तो मुझे फ्री हैंड दिया रहता तो मैं निचोड़ देता, चारों को निचोड़ देता था, because I also have data points for all 4 of them. यार तो भाई मैं तो उनसे ज्यादा बुड्ढा हूँ, I am elder to Ashneer, I am elder to all of them maybe, except Anupam, right? So मैं भी निचोड़ देता ना, तो इसको मस्त बिग बॉस बना देते थे, तो और टीआरपी मिलती है। हमको उनको बजाने दिया होता तो चैनल को और टीआरपी मिलती है। So that's the sum and substance of it. So it was good, but lot of learnings, and I want an equal footing for our guys. There is no big or small here, which I think the channel did. The channel made the sharks the hero, but Shark Tank US makes the guys who pitch the hero. ड्रैगन्स डेन में पिचर हीरो है, शार्क हीरो नहीं है। शार्क टैंक इंडिया में ये हीरो वर्शिप जो हो जाती है ना, उसमें ये शार्क्स हीरो बन जाते हैं, पिचर पीछे रह जाते हैं, जो गलत है। और ये थोड़ा हमारा कल्चर का भी प्रॉब्लम है। ये हम जो हीरो वर्शिप शुरू कर देते हैं, महेंद्र सिंह धोनी देख के धोनी 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 हो रहा है। धोनी इज देयर इन ऑल ऑफ अस यार। आई विल से यू आर अ धोनी, you find your good things and you try achieving what he's doing or do better, then as an entrepreneur I'll feel better because I got somebody inspired who did something better. तो ये हीरो वर्शिप भी थोड़ी कम होनी है। मुझे बहुत लोग बोलते हैं आपको कौन इंस्पायर करता है, यार मेरे को हर बंदा इंस्पायर करता है। मुझे आज सुधांशु भी इंस्पायर कर रहा है बिकॉज वो मुझे क्वेश्चंस पूछ रहा है, राइट? तो हीरो वर्शिप जरूरी है, बट सुबह शाम एलोन मस्क के आप ट्वीट्स देख के खुश होंगे और रीट्वीट मारोगे तो आप एलोन मस्क नहीं बनोगे। आपको मेहनत करनी है और आपको प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है। तो द रबर हैज टू हिट द रोड, बी हैप्पी, रीड बुक्स, गेट इंस्पायर्ड, बट इन द एंड इट्स यू. You have to be inspired by yourself so much that you do big. That has to happen, which I see is missing, which has to change.
Exactly.
You are your own hero, yaar. You are your own hero in your journey,
True.
in your story, right? And make your story big. Inspire yourself. Why you need to see a Dhoni or a Rohit or a Virat or anybody like Ashneer or anybody? You become your own hero, man, and pull your story. Everybody has that in them. Just a matter of time and pulling it out.
True, true. Sir, I won't take much of your time now. Just one thing that मेरा क्या है कि I ask this one question to everybody I interview कि if you could go 20 years back or 25 years back and from वहाँ से अगर if you could start all over again, तो ऐसी कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं जो आप चेंज करते या फिर उसी तरह से चलते बट अभी लोगों को उससे आप कुछ सिखाना चाहो, तो वो क्या होता?
देखो, एक चीज what I would have changed is although gut feel is good, but don't always start up on gut feel because at times you will nosedive. तो थोड़ा strategic रह के, थोड़ा pre planning करके, थोड़ा POC करके, फिर if you get your hands dirty, chances of success are more. Because 20 years back our ecosystem was not that great, right? There was no ecosystem, to be honest. तो हमको बहुत कुछ खुद करना था. But if I go today 20 years back, I would have not started up the way I started up. I would have taken some experience, I would have done work, I would have understood, I would have done a job, then I would have started up. Honestly, if you give me a chance, I will do all of that and then I will start up, because then I feel I will do lesser mistakes. I will have my core covered and a lot of things I would have learned then applied, rather than the way it was now or it happened is I started applying and then started learning. So you have a lot of pitfalls. You learn a lot of things on the job, and then you have larger risks. आपका घर गिरवी हो जाएगा, which has happened in our case. मतलब you will lose big, okay, and you will risk big, and in that big risk you will fall big also. So if I go 20 years back, I would try to be more methodical. I would try to work first, then start up. I would try not doing everything on my gut feel. I would apply some mind, although I still feel the best decisions in my life are what I took from my gut and not from my brain. But still, I would be more methodical and I will be more matured. I will build up a team, then start up. मतलब थोड़ा organized होता था, and I would have been more planned, and I would have started up. Then I think things or would have taken less time to shape up, which took more time in my life. So I took 15 long years to pivot and get my product market fit, which I would have done much earlier. Maybe I would have done in 5 years, which I took 10 more years to do because I was unplanned. So I would have done all of that better. And I would have, my social fabric was good, so that was not a challenge. But I would have worked, थोड़ा savings बना के, थोड़ा monetary planning करके करा होता तो life would have been much better. We would have had less sacrifices. So I would have been more planned.
Basically, yeah, you mean to say कि जो risks होते हैं वो calculated होना चाहिए और हमेशा वो वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो के लेके चलो कि अगर सब खत्म भी हो जाता है तो I'll still stand here, I'll still have
Yeah,
this, I'll still have that.
but that doesn't mean you don't start up. That doesn't mean
Yeah, it should
you
not
only see
stop you
the,
from starting up.
हाँ मतलब ऐसा नहीं हो जाए कि आप रिस्क रिस्क देखते हो, रिस्क तो रोज है, रोड पे चलो तो भी रिस्क है यार भाई, कोई गाड़ी आके उड़ा देगा, देयर इज नो गारंटी राइट. घर से बाहर निकलो, देयर इज नो गारंटी यू आर गोइंग टू कम बैक इन वन पीस. लेट्स एक्सेप्ट दैट. So like Steve Jobs said, if we live every day as if it's our last day, you'll do your best. And that's my only mantra for every damn thing under the sun, that if you live as if there's no tomorrow, you will take the most radical decisions but the most correct decisions. And somehow, our gut knows what's right for us. So go with the flow at times. Everything don't do calculated, but आप अंधे के जैसे कूद भी मत जाओ मगरमच्छ वाले पूल में, because आप मरोगे, right? That should not happen. But still you can jump and take a calculated risk. Boss, if I swim fast, I am faster than the crocodile, right? So do that. It's one life. You have to risk. And see, today's journey is such that even if you fail, the taboo is much less than it was 25 years, 20 years back, right? You can still go back to a job. You can still go and become a consultant. You can still join a startup and give your gyan and make money. You can still start a bloody YouTube video. You can become an influencer. और घर पे बैठ के यू कैन मेक मनी. आई गेट सो मेनी रिक्वेस्ट, सर इंस्टाग्राम पे ये करो वो करो, इन्फ्लुएंसर बन जाओ, ज्ञान दो. सो देयर इज एन ऑप्शन इवन टुडे. इफ आई फेल, मैं भूखा नहीं मरूंगा, राइट? सो नाउ you have, you don't need a plan B. Okay, even if you fail, the industry accepts you. That's the best part, right? But you need to try that hard. So I think there is no better time than today to start up. But that doesn't mean कि आप 10th में स्टार्टअप कर लो जैसा हमने करा, 12th में कर लो, एजुकेशन छोड़ दो, ड्रॉप आउट कर लो. नो, देयर इज नो टाइम टू स्टार्ट अप. आप, I know so many big consultants who finished their jobs. I know a consultant from ICICI who started up now with an insurance company. He's on the board. He's got all his entire back covered. He has money. He has settled his kids. एजुकेशन हो गया, शादी हो गई, एंड नाउ स्टार्टिंग अप. और वो सबसे बिंदास है अभी, बिकॉज यू नथिंग टू लूज. पैसे डूबे तो भी मेरे पास पैसे है, राइट? सो आई थिंक ही इज इन द बेस्ट पोजीशन टू स्टार्ट अप. सो एट 55-60 वो 15-20 साल भी जिएगा बंदा, तो वो तो अश्नीर into 10 बन जाएगा, बिकॉज ही हैज नथिंग टू लूज, राइट? सो आई थिंक ही इज इन द बेस्ट पोजीशन टू स्टार्ट a startup. So that's the most best calculated way to do things. I think I'm a fool in front of him, because bloody I have all my liabilities on my head and I don't know if I succeed or not. But he's covered his back. So I think that's a better way to do things, right? So it's all about finding a solution to a problem. You find a problem, you find a solution, gives you sleepless nights, and you feel you have it in you to drive it. That's the day you have to start up. Period. There is no time, there is no deadline, there is no rat race in this. Don't start up thinking, हाँ मैं 2 साल में कुछ नहीं करूंगा तो मैं बंद कर दूंगा. ऐसे नहीं होता है धंधा, ठीक है? इसको एक डिकेड देना है. इट्स लाइक ग्रोइंग अ मैंगो ट्री. आप एक मैंगो ट्री लगाओगे ना तो आपको मैंगोस 10 साल के बाद मिलेंगे, और कोई गारंटी नहीं है इसमें मैंगोस होंगे कि नहीं. तो भी फार्मर मैंगो ट्री लगाता है, और वो एक नहीं 20 लगाता है, अभी एक में तो होगा, राइट? सो सिमिलरली इफ यू स्टार्ट अप, यू हैव टू गिव इट टाइम. यू कैनॉट से 6 months, कैनॉट से 1 साल में पैसे नहीं रेस किए तो बंद कर दूंगा, या 1 साल का रनवे धंधा नहीं हो तो बंद कर दूंगा. दैट्स द मोस्ट फूलिश वे टू डू थिंग्स. इट डजंट वर्क लाइक दैट. 1+1 is not 2 in business. 1+1 can be 2, -2 11, right? You have to give yourself a decade. If you can't give yourself a decade, yes, you have plan B, plan C, plan D, pivot, that's fine, but don't give up. If you give up, you are not worthy to start up, right? Because you won't succeed in first go. You see the lives of the best of guys, okay? Except the geniuses like Elon Musk, who succeeded bloody in every venture what he did. That's a different ballgame. हम आम आदमी की स्टोरी ले ले, और you read, I forgot the book, Connecting the Dots, right? Yeah, you read the story of those 15 IIT guys, Connecting the Dots, or by Rashmi Bansal, or Connect the Dots by Rashmi Bansal, which was a big rage when we were startups or entrepreneurs. Her books are good. In that you see Sanjeev Bikhchandani's story, the guy who started Naukri.com. See story. I buy what he said. It's the same outlier story of 10,000 hours. You give something 10,000 hours, you will succeed, period, right? But you calculate those 10,000 hours will be 10 years plus. So that's what Sanjeev said, that if you are lucky, you'll succeed in 5 years. If you are so-so or not so lucky, you'll succeed in 10 years. If you are the world's most unluckiest person, but still stick to what you are doing, you will succeed in the 15 years. There is no mantra or there is no method which at the 15th year you will still be a failure. No. Okay, but you have to be lage raho munna bhai there, right? If you don't do that, then boss, even God can't help you, right? So, like Hawking had said in his book, I forgot the name of the book. I have it here. Let me pull up that book. Yeah, brief answers to big questions. I'm a big fan of this book. Okay, Stephen Hawking's.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, brief answers to big questions. उसने बताया वही बताया. So people ask, do you believe in God? And brilliant questions he's answered. And he has the same mantra. Okay, what he says is, he says there is some energy. I don't know, you want to name it God. It is not like a human God. There is something. Okay, people had written me off, he says, because I had all the diseases. At 18, I was totally dependent on people, could not speak, could not eat, could not sleep, could not do anything on my own. And I went on to do the best things. I got the black hole theory. I married. I got 4 kids. I proved everybody wrong in every sphere of life. And the only thing what he says is persistence, right? So he says, and I buy that logic, what he's kept on saying is, there is something, but it is the human spirit. Okay, so if in your spirit, if in the human spirit, you feel, I need to do this, I can do this, you can pull that off, right? There's nothing like a good luck, bad luck, because he says bad luck के logic में तो मैं सबसे last खड़ा था ना. मेरे को तो intelligent होके भी सब साले ऐसे रोग हो गए कि मैं खत्म हो चुका था. I was crippled. The doctor gave me 2 months and I lived, say, 50, 60 more years beyond those 2 months, right? इससे बड़ा human resilience का आपको क्या evidence दे, right? So if you read that book, it's really inspiring and he's put in the truth there. There's nothing like bad luck. He says, yes, when a guy, like, I believe some tennis player had also said, why me? He said, I never asked when I won 20 Grand Slams, why me? So now if I have this disease, why am I asking? Even Yuvraj Singh had said, I never questioned why me? Because when I lifted the World Cup, I never asked why me. So if I get cancer, why am I asking why me, right? So Stephen Hawking says the same thing. It's sporadic. Okay. It's like you can say good luck, bad luck, but if you are on it today or tomorrow, it will work for you. Okay. And he says it worked for me. I wanted to do something big and I became the biggest physicist of the world in spite of being crippled to the worst extent, right? So he said, I used to look at Newton and the other big guys and I could achieve what they could not in spite of being in the worst physical and mental state, right? So he says you have to be at it, right? And that's the story, even what Sanjeev said and what Yuvraj said and all great said, that if you keep on, like, it's probability. If you have studied statistics, you will understand what's probability, right? What's the probability of you succeeding in 50 years? It will be 50%. तो आप 50 साल कुछ करोगे तो 25th ईयर पे आपको सक्सेस मिल जाएगा, बिकॉज प्रोबेबिलिटी में वो 100% हो रहा है, राइट? वो सिंपल मैथ है. तो आप कुछ इतना लंबा करो तो आप सक्सेसफुल होगे 100%, because even the probability to succeed there is 100%, period. So if you just follow that simple math of probability analysis, you are going to be successful today or tomorrow. Now it's a matter of time, right? थोड़ा कोई लोग जल्दी, कोई जेप्टो भी हो सकते हैं भाई, कोई अशनीर भी हो सकता है, कोई अक्षय भी हो सकता है भाई, लेट ब्लूमर भी होते हैं. So it's okay. The journey is more important, boss. You'll enjoy the journey. Trust me. When you are like at your lows or when you are on your deathbed, you are not going to count how many trophies I have or what money I have or what bank balance I have. You are only going to remember your journey, right? So your journey is interesting. Your journey was enticing. And in the end, if you did what you want to do, you will be a happy soul. You won't die sad. In the end, all of us have to die and go somewhere. We don't know where. We don't know rebirth and all that. We don't know God exists or not, right? In the end, your soul and you have to be happy. And trust me, when you are going to die, the only thing you want to remember is your journey. And if that is interesting, enticing, or you did what you wanted to do, or you were happy all along, even with the pitfalls or you didn't succeed, won't matter. Like Sanjay Dutt ने बोला था ना एक award ceremony, यार 15 साल बाद मिला तो सही, right? So that's the spirit. वो आपको ज्यादा entice करेगा. 15 बार जीतने में आप नहीं खुश होंगे, but 15 साल बाद एक बार मिलेगा तो आप ज्यादा खुश रहोगे. So that's the sum and substance, yeah. That's what I think. I don't know, right or wrong. Let's see. Time will say.
Yeah, this reminds me of your interview with Cyril I watched a couple of days ago. You got an award for something, and this was exactly your line where you say
Yeah,
ki,
absolutely. So we
it's
won.
very
I won a
inspiring.
Sidbi. So there's a small YouTube video also with Sidbi guys. How the government guys have put that. You could just Google YouTube that
Yeah,
on
yeah,
my
yeah.
channel. Put and yeah. So that's what they asked, and it's really good, to go and talk to people, because see, it's not about the success. You go and talk to MSMEs, which people don't do. They don't take their interviews, but they are doing the real struggle. And trust me, they are happy at the end of the day, right? Because they are achieving, पैर इतने ही फैला रहे हैं जितना चादर है, and they are changing lives. Today, if you see who's changing lives, it's not the unicorns, right? It's the MSME who are giving jobs to so many guys whom a unicorn won't hire, and they are changing lives, right? The wheel is moving because of the MSMEs and the small business is not the large business. So, even aspiring to start up and stay small is not wrong. It's not bad. Everybody need not become big. Okay, everybody need not become an Elon Musk. Okay, we need Elon Musks. Yes, we need that inspiration. We need those eccentric guys to take us to Mars. Yes, we need the mad guys, but we also need the sensible guys to keep the wheel running, because only mad guys will make all of us mad. We don't want to turn mad, right? So we need to balance it. So it's not wrong to think small, which I believe was also said in Shark Tank, was said by Namita only, that aspiration to remain small or have 100 people company or a 10 crore company is not bad. It's not wrong. If you're happy in doing that, do that, right? You're still changing lives. Even if you change the life of one guy, your life is worth lived. Yeah, what else you want, right? So it's okay to be small, think small. Just be happy, do what you're good at, but do something, right? Try doing radical things, because it's us who can change the world. Like Elon Musk also says, right? If everybody thinks about Earth, will think about Mars. So I think about Mars. We go to Mars. At least we'll have a better life for the other living beings on Earth, because we as humans are spoiling Earth, right? And other beings are hampered. So that's his mantra. That's his story. Humans are bad. Pull them out of Earth. Put them in Mars, and other beings will be happy. So I am doing a word of good for the other living beings. Okay, that's his thought process. तो ठीक है यार, चाय वाला भी ठीक है, बिजनेस है, अच्छा है, चला रहा है, लोगों को खुश कर रहा है, छोटा बड़ा कुछ नहीं है. Just start up, do good, and it's not necessary to start up also. If you're happy doing a job and you are solving a problem, do that, right? ऐसा सबको स्टार्टअप करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप जॉब में रह के भी हीरो बन सकते हो, ठीक है? तो ऐसा भी कुछ नहीं है कि भाई सबको एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, तो काम कौन करेगा? तो it's okay, just do what you like doing, find your inner calling, but take risks. यार, वो तो जरूरी है. You have one life. If you don't risk, there's no fun. Deathbed पे you'll regret. Don't regret, boss. At deathbed you should go happy. Boss, जो भी है मजा आया, right? वो मजा आना जरूरी है. वरना we have one life here, we don't know what happens next, right? क्या पता कॉकरोच बने.
So, sir, with this, एक last question मैं पूछना चाहूँगा कि अगर सिर्फ एक golden piece of advice आप देना चाहो किसी भी student जो सुन रहा है या कोई भी working professional को who wants to get ahead in life instead of getting into entrepreneurship or कुछ भी, बस just he wants to get ahead in life, तो वो एक piece of golden advice क्या होगा?
देखो, मैंने दिया बहुत ज्ञान कि आप मारते वक्त क्या देखना चाहते हो, right? Work for that. And I don't know golden piece or not, but has always worked for me, and whatever little I've read about other great guys has worked, is listen to your heart then more than your mind. Okay, go by your gut feel. I believe what Steve Jobs says. Sometimes, somehow your gut knows what's good for you, okay, or what you're meant for. Somehow, that sixth sense everybody has. Go with your gut. Okay. I don't know. With me, that has always happened, but many greats, if you even look at Sachin Tendulkar's autobiography, or you read anybody, you read Rohit Sharma तो गट से ही खेलता है, तो ठीक है, अलग अलग स्टोरी है, वो एक जीनियस है, अलग टाइप ऑफ बंदा है. बट आप बुक्स भी पढ़ो ग्रेट्स की. एलॉन मस्क तो शूट फ्रॉम हिज हिप, फॉरगेट द गट, वो तो हिप लेवल पे अटैक कर देता है. बट everything is not calculative, right? Somehow, your mind, your heart, your inner soul knows what's good for you. So somehow go with the flow. Every time, don't be calculative. That's what one golden piece of advice I want to give to every human being. Be it a housewife, be it a student, be it somebody who's working, be it entrepreneurs. Yeah, dil ki suno. See, we are all born with a purpose. That's for sure. Everybody has a purpose in life. We have to go and find that, or that has to be our calling, right? So like Alia Bhatt said, she said, when I was studying, I never thought I'll become an actress, but now this is my calling, right? Like Ranbir Singh said, Ranbir Kapoor said, many people have said, they have found their calling. Many people don't find their calling. Find a way that you find your calling in life, right? It can be any damn thing. It can be a job, that's fine. But listen to your gut, find your calling. You will be more peaceful and the world will be a better place to live if you're content. So yeah, listen to your gut, man. It somehow knows what's good for you.
That's exactly the golden piece of advice. So
And very few people will give you this.
yeah. This is what makes you different from others कि जो preach करते हैं वो काफी लोग उसको जो teach करते हैं उसको preach नहीं करते हैं.
Yeah, I buy that, and I don't know if I'm different or not, but I want all of us to do that. It's not I'm great doing this. Trust me, everybody has skeletons in their cupboard, right? We all of us know we have sinned. Nobody is a Mahatma, you're right. Even Mahatma Gandhi has said he's not a Mahatma. And he's written in his book. If you read his book, the entire 10 stories, My Tryst with Truth, he has said, I am not the Mahatma. You have made me Mahatma, right? Everybody has skeletons. So we know what we are good and bad. Then why to hide it from us and the world, right? Doesn't make sense, because you are doing a big disservice to yourself by hiding things. So what do you feel? And it's not, I started doing that. I read a lot about people, and I'm an ardent fan of Elon Musk. And I don't know, some people say he's an actor, he lies, but I don't feel. I feel he really shoots things from the hip, and what's in his mind is in his heart, is on his tongue, is on his tweets. That's what I feel. And I take a lot of reading from that. And I don't know, I still feel our leaders hide behind press conferences, and they have all, cooked up conferences and people who come and represent them. I still feel our leaders should come out and talk. Be it big or small, doesn't matter. Okay, leader means it can be a VP, entrepreneur, prime minister, chief minister, I don't care. But our leaders have to come out and talk, because you will strike a chord like nobody else. And I believe I saw recently a web series on Uber, on Wood. I think Super Pumped. It's called Super Pumped or Pumped, something like that. And in that, right, like real or fake, I don't know, but TK they call Kalanick's team. They, when he compares himself to Elon Musk, they say in one episode that Elon goes and communicates with people. As Travis, nobody knows you as founder of Uber because you don't communicate to people, right? So you have to be yourself. You have to go out and talk, and you have to take both the good and the bad. So you have to take even the brickbats, and you have to take even the good things what you have said, because you are the leader. And then people will actually respect you, follow you, or work with you, because you are you. You accept your shortfalls and you work hard to improve yourself. So you are human, right? And that's what they told Travis, that you consider yourself big, but you are not in the league of an Elon Musk or the other big guys. They mention everybody, or a Bill Gates, or the other big guys who raise monies. He also compares himself to Amazon guys and Sergey Brin and the Google guys. So they tell Travis that you are not them because you don't communicate. You hide behind the hood, and you have a team who communicates. Stop doing that. Start talking to people. So I believe that say the truth. I'm not saying I'm a Mahatma or I'm saying everything the truth. I am also hiding a lot of things. But the point is, more or less, try to bring your true self out, because that will do a word of good to you and to others. And that's all life about, right? If you learn something fast on the journey, share. Somebody else will help you later, because later maybe he or she might excel more than you, and that will come back, right? But whatever you give comes back. Law of Newton. Follow that, yeah. Something good will happen.
So thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this show. It really means a lot
My
to
pleasure,
us.
and I'm obliged. People like you want to cover me, that's good. And I'm happy even if 2 people hear this and benefit out of that. I think that's the essence of my life. I'll be happy that even if I can inspire one guy to do the true thing or do his right calling. I think we don't need these babas or gurus. You yourself are a baba. You are your own guru. Get hold of your life, inspire yourself, and grow. You don't need others. You don't need heroes. You are your own hero. Just pick up your story and start running.
Thank you so much, sir. And
Good
I
day,
hope
Sudhanshu.
we do another episode sometime soon.
I'm always open, boss. I'm
Now
always open. Call me.
I'm really hoping to see you sitting as one of the shark with me, coming with my own company sometime in future.
I'm so happy I'll invest in you, man. I know you, so I'll invest. So that's another problem, yaar. See, the guys who can't say no can't be on Shark Tank because यार मैं तो कोई entrepreneur को ना नहीं बोल सकूंगा. I have been in this journey. So that's what I think Vijay Shekhar also said no, or Kunal also said no to come on Shark Tank because they said यार कोई entrepreneur को ना कैसे बोले, तो कोई को कैसे बोले यार इसको पैसे नहीं दे सकते. So I don't know, but I don't know I come on Shark or not, but I had said that post production उन्होंने दिखाया नहीं. बट जब हमको इतना ह्यूमिलेट करके बाहर बैठा भेजा था तो मुझे बोला था उसने कि आप शार्क्स को कहना चाहोगे, तो मैंने बोला था यार उनको बोलो हटो, मैं जाके आई विल डू अ बेटर जॉब एंड आई प्रॉमिस यू आई विल गो देयर एंड सिट एज अ शार्क एंड डू जस्टिस. तो ये मैंने ऑन कैमरा बोला है, जो दिखाया नहीं उन्होंने, बट मैंने बोला है तो यार आई वांट दिस टू हैपन, आई वांट टू कम एज अ शार्क. दैट वाज द कमिटमेंट ऑन कैमरा.
I'm sure it's going to happen sometime soon.
Good, yeah. I hope I do good for all and good for me. That's it, yeah.
We are all rooting for you, sir.
Thanks, yeah. That's what helps. The blessings. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
दुआ में याद
sir.
रखना.
Exactly. Thank you so much, sir.
Cool.